That's perfect.
Now
Nailed it, Danny.
we'll wait for people to catch up. Let's see if they find the room. Oh, they'll find it. But let's see. How do I close this one? And then how did you find it last time? We went live.
Yeah. So what you do is you refresh it. Whoops.
There we are.
There you go.
Here we are. Now see if anybody comes back and says, "Oh." No.
Oh, they will. They'll find us. It's no worries. This is part 2 of Is this our second Automotive Book Club live stream?
Automotive Book Club live stream.
Yeah, second one.
This is yes, part 2 of reading assignment 2.
There you
We're
go.
reading today,
Part 2, second half.
page 50 to 77, and we've only made it to page 56. So we're
Okay.
well, we kind of.
And
we talked
people are
about the
finding
linked
us.
car.
Good.
Oh yeah, people are finding us. There we go. Thanks you guys. Thanks for coming back at us. All right. Well, see, we're always improving. We're
Yes.
always improving.
Kaizen.
All right, Kaizen. Yeah, we're just here in Danny's home on a phone. You know, we're just no fancy equipment, no one behind the scenes. We're just chilling with y'all.
There you go.
All right, and on page 63, we talked about the winged car already, but there was something else that happened right after that I thought was like another example of Smokey's work ethic and everything, and it was the fuel tank. He gave like some crazy credit to the welder of the fuel tank, was like, oh my god, the most beautiful welds, great quality, whatever, and then they go to get it anodized or whatever, is that what happens? And like there's all these pinholes. So Smokey has to grind everything out and do it over again. And it was what, 3 days worth of work?
Luigi. How do you pronounce him? That's him. Excellent fabricator, gave him all the credit in the world. But then after the fuel tank was made, which is a hard fuel tank to make to fit in the car, a lot of weird shapes, they have to send it out to get anodized because methanol fuel eats everything.
Ah, yes.
Yes,
Yep.
methanol fuel.
Yep.
That brought up a whole other thing. Why are we even doing methanol fuel? But anyway, so when it comes back from being anodized, the anodizing eats through some of the welds, and they have to redo them again.
Yes.
I mean, this is just.
And here's the thing, like, Smokey gives this guy mad credit for being such a great welder. And he messed it up, kinda. And then also, on that same car, he gives credit to, like, the world's best painter, who also, like, messes up the paint. I'm like...
That's right.
You can't trust anyone else with anything. Like, do it yourself. Like, everyone's, like, screwing it up. Is it just me, or did, like, everyone, once again, is letting him down? And I'm surprised he works with anybody anymore.
And he's having to strip the whole car down.
Yes!
Glass beat the chassis, x-ray it, repaint it, and reassemble it. He can't get somebody to paint a car. But, yeah. So,
it was supposed to be
gold. It was the wrong color gold.
Yeah, it was supposed to be
Rose
gold.
gold,
And it came out like pink. Yeah, rose gold. It's not very manly. It's not very smoky. Anyway, I just thought that was funny. Did anyone else find that interesting? I'm the same way. I do not want anybody to do with the exception of Danny. With the exception of Danny, who has earned my trust. I don't want anyone else touching my things. I'm sorry. Even if my car is under warranty and I can get a warranty job done for free, unless if it's like programming or something, fine. Download and update, I don't care. But no, give me the superseded part. I will install it myself. I'm like, ugh. And here Smokey just gets screwed, and he's still willing to trust these guys. And I mean, never did he say that the guy wasn't a good welder, and never did he say the guy wasn't a good painter.
In fact, he gives him credit that one of the best fabricators could make anything. And Smokey does give a lot of people credit, man, where it's due from. Yes. And what I wanted to do about a board, and y'all stay with me, and we'll keep count. We're going through the book, right? So we're going to keep count. How many times did Smokey Unique cheat? And so far, we have not found one, besides a woman or something, but we haven't found one thing that would really...
kind of cheating.
That he cheated, yes.
Cheating the rules, the racing rules. Yeah.
Oh, I'd have to go back to book 1.
I don't know.
Book 1 in the curtain. Besides book 1 in the curtain. Okay. So,
is this the shop mom homework assignment, or are you going to do this?
No. We remember this is during the pandemic when we started this.
Yes.
There was that one time that in his book he even wrote, and it was pretty much it was cheating. He wasn't the only one across the pits, and that's where he learned that one from.
Okay,
so we won't go to that, but I'm just going because everybody says Smokey cheats. That's why he's not in this. That's why he's not in that. Smokey belongs, and we know he belongs. But so far, going through everything, how many times have we read that? Well, I knew that was cheating. I just wanted to get away with it, or anything.
No, I do remember that from the very beginning. I was asking who's making the board.
Oh yeah. Oh, who's making the board?
Yeah.
Well, it'd be a small board. It'd be a little bitty board back there.
I know. What is it going right there? Like
yeah, it's gonna go right there.
Okay.
All right, we'll get back. We'll get back to our notes.
We see once again why Smokey hates the media. Why does Smokey hate the media? They had nothing but bad things to say about the wing. And it's like, I would get discouraged. Like if I was trying something new that was way out there, way out there, that was just unique and, was taking a risk. And then I just get made fun of by everybody. It would be now like the equivalent of like social media, like everyone online, like everyone posting, oh, look what she's doing. That's freaking stupid, so this is like all the major publications, newspapers, whatever, radio shows, television, even reporters, making fun of the wing. And it'd be terrible to like admit defeat and have to take it off when you realize that it didn't work, even though it kind of did work. That would get me down.
And then them going out to this was their early social media, just you talking about the car, didn't handle or anything else. That already killed the car when they hadn't even got a chance to. But yes, that was the early social media.
And his driver was not being honest about it. He said that the brakes were bad.
Oh, that yes.
So there was like something weird going on there.
And it had no clutch, but it wasn't the brakes, but. There was a lot of things going. Poor Smokey.
I know.
Relied on a lot of different.
It's like imagine. He still managed to do so much, but imagine if he just had a good team. Like I feel like he faced a lot of adversity, but he doesn't even like talk that much crap about them either. He does a little bit, but like they're well deserved. Anyway, okay. So now we're going to Curtis. There's the Python. There. Look at that beautiful suspension. There was a. Oh yeah,
that's when it ended up. Yes, totally.
Curtis sends it into the wall. Do you want to show? I'll show this picture. So there's a wreck pic, right there after Curtis sends it into the wall. Whew, that was expensive, I'm sure.
20 G's.
Yep.
In a moment, your all your investments are gone.
Oh, that's okay. On page 70, trying to catch up with everything here. That's where we mentioned the one pedal drive, but also the turbine, which never came to be, or not this year at least, in 1964. But that was interesting. And then I want to read on page 71.
Oh no! It's about the turbine. So he calls up and he says, "Go ahead, I'll take it. Send it to me, and it's ready to go." And what it was, $35,000.
Just $35,000.
Yeah. So he says, "No, you're gonna
you
loan
said
it
you
to
would
me
loan
for
it
free.
to me for free."
That's the freshen up fee. So pay that up front because when he comes back, it's gonna have to be freshened up, which meant that there was no turbine in the car that year. That just
$34,000 for freshen up fee. I can imagine that's what it cost to just like
back
then build the darn thing. So, anyway, once again it's like we know at this point that Smokey is extremely experienced in life. He's clearly incredibly smart. How did he get himself in this situation again? Okay, so page 71. Which is here with a picture of the airplane. So what?
Which is now we know how he did the pod car.
Oh yes. Oh, and we can talk about that in a second too. But all right.
This one may not have the plane, but I'll look. I'll keep looking.
Okay,
there it is.
No worries.
There it is.
Yeah. So about the turbine. On March 1st, I call the turbine company. I say, ship me the turbine. I need it now. They say, it's ready. Send your check for $34,000. Huh? You said you'd loan it for free. Yeah, we will, but the overhaul charge will be $34,000, and that's the bare cost. Well, I couldn't come up with $3,400, let alone add another zero. So, adios, turbine. I got enough stuff to put an offie together. Now, I've got a partner and a sponsor. The partner is a Weasley Central European Sharpie named George Chalik. Always wore a couple giant diamonds. an old rich guy, owned a rubber company of some kind. The cat was sharp. I signed a worthless contract with him. He owned half the car and never put any money into it. I billed him, but I couldn't collect. Legal deal. I said, that ain't fair. He said, next time, you'll learn how to read a contract. Okay, you got me. But mentally, I ignore him. I won't even let him in the garage. When he did get in, I'd take his glasses and give him a hardness test with a ball-peen hammer on both lenses. They failed. That then changed his number one problem from getting in the garage to getting another pair of cheaters. Without him, he couldn't see ship. Second time I tested his goggles, he got the message. Without glasses, if you grabbed one of those rings and acted like you were going to pull it off his finger, he'd go goofy. Okay, once again, is Smokey the worst judge of character? How is he getting himself into these situations? Like, I've been burned a few times, and I will never work with another person again. Like, obviously there's dating, but like, I don't want employees. I don't want. Well, I've had some great like apprentices and stuff like that, but like, I don't want. I've been burned just a couple times. Never again. Never again. I won't even make new friends. It's like, get out of my life, people. I don't like anyone because I've been burned. Smokey!
He needed sponsors so bad. That's how.
So he turned a blind eye.
Yes. He needed. It takes a. I can't imagine. You can't even imagine what it would take to even to build a car nowadays. But even back then was a lot of money, and he needed, and he was building, and going back and. All the different ideas. He'd cut a car apart and change the suspension. He wanted a magnesium chassis. Where was he going to get the money for this stuff? He was way ahead, and a lot of stuff did end up, making it. So the pod car, which is the Hearst Special, which is the one that had the accelerator and brake pedal in one, the shifter with cables, technology, the steering wheel that came off. This is where he gets the idea for the pod car.
Yeah.
And you see that? And he wanted to know why there's another pod there. Because it was less drag. So he got the idea from an airplane, from observing.
Sick, dude.
So while he's I can just see him. It's time for a Smokey movie, and I already have the movie. I have the person who's gonna be Smokey, but he observes as he's walking around. It's like
we need sponsors for the documentary. People.
It's like a John Wick movie when he knows how many people are in the room. He knows what he knows everything just by walking through the room.
Okay.
So Smokey is like that. So
the judge of character.
I don't think
floors me.
I don't think he was naive.
People.
He wasn't naive. No,
but then why did he keep on getting into
how do you get money? Okay, hold on.
God.
I'm not going to go to Indy this year. Well, this guy I don't really like has money, and he's done it over and over again though.
Hire someone to read your contract.
You have to hire someone. Yeah.
Oh, I know. Or just run it by a legal team.
The contract quote in there. It's like we learned this the last time too. Smokey's always leaving his little breadcrumbs of nuggets of things that he learned. So there's always a message. What's the message? The message there, and he put himself out there. Learn how to read a contract, Smokey. Got burnt that one. So if anything else, if you from today's think whatever, if you ever get a contract in front of you, either hire somebody to learn how to read it, or you learn how to read it. Let's all take that from.
Go through, and then find every contract. People hate signing contracts with me because I go back with like the most little pickiest thing. It's like I'm not
in this book.
It's
To that. Page 402.
Thank you very much. Now, that was page 71. Oh, okay, then page 76. I had the detachable steering wheel. I wanted to ask a quick question. I'm going to show this to everybody too. Is that the fuel tank there? What's that?
On the side, I believe it is, or the hydraulic tanker.
Because I'm just like, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure this out. What do you guys think this is? Check out this car. Do you see, try not to get the glare, right between the wheel.
It's going to have to be a homework to figure out.
There's a tank there. I'm like, now they said it was like a 75-gallon fuel tank. So to me, that doesn't look like 75 gallons, clearly. But like what other, like what is it? Help me out, people. Help me out. What do you think it is?
And that's the Simon car. There's so many cars too. There's so many cars, and it could be the same car. It could be the Python. It got repainted every year. They would you didn't have any car. So when somebody else was, let's go to Indy. Okay, we'll pull out that same. What did that car went in 3 different paint jobs, paint schemes.
Oh yeah, and he reused some of the offie parts, like his offie stuff.
I just happen to have enough offie parts laying around.
Yeah, like from a previous project he was working on.
There's a controversy, Engine Masters, everybody has a controversy, short rod or long rod.
I hear this all the time, because 7M has a really long rod, and that's why it always knocks.
Well, what does Smokey do to the Indy motor? And what did we find out even from Chicky, that Smokey could make more horsepower than Chicky or whatever, but the long connecting rod is what he had in there.
Always use the longest rod possible.
All right, Chop Mom, don't make me smile. Don't make me blush. Okay. All right.
Now,
stop it, Charity.
So now the third question that I asked at the very, very beginning of this, at the first live stream, so part 1 of this live stream. You have to go back and change the titles and be like part 1, part 2.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you gotta put them in like a playlist so people know where to find it. Put them in orders.
Okay, I have Ophelia that will help me do that.
Okay, you got this, Ophelia. Okay. What causes Smokey's enchantment with Indy to dim a little bit? So I figure we should sort of talk about that, maybe end on that note. Long story short, if you couldn't guess already, even if you didn't read the book and just know some things about Smokey, there's some new rules. There are some new rules that have to be followed. So one of the new rules is that the car has to have a bumper. So that's those hands right there.
And he gets his son to put his hands out, and he traces them out, cuts them out, gets them chrome plated, and puts those in the front of the car. And you look over here, it's a different bumper.
Oh yeah, and here's another little, very teeny tiny little bumper, like almost like a total cluck you to the rules.
But when the rules changed, at first he did the hands up there, just which I thought. And then this book, here's the part where this picture isn't in that book at all.
Oh
which I thought was kind of cool.
Show that picture.
So it's actually.
And what page is that?
It is page 405. And there's the car with the nose off it. There's the hands right there. So in this instance, this picture is not in the other book. And for the most part,
I love that picture.
This has everything this one does, but not all the pictures. Well, we find out that you got a bonus picture there. So, all right.
I love it. Let me see where I put that. Was on page 58. So I'll
58 and 405. That's how they break down. If you're in that book or this book, do most people have this book, or do most people have the original book?
All right. So
how many people actually have the books?
How many people actually have the book?
We know Bob Miller does.
Oh, and Scott, if you're watching, thank you. I still have it and I still cherish it. I'm taking care of this for Scott. And he was at Indy and Smokey signed this. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a seat from the Indy 500, and Smokey signed it right there. And Scott wanted me to take care of this. It was my Christmas present. I wanted me to take care of it for him. So I'm still taking care of it. And isn't that cool?
Neat.
A little Indy, we could bring out I have some pieces of IndyCar that will hit the wall.
Oh my God.
And there's different kind of things. But thank you, Scott. Still have it. Still taking care of it.
Scott.
I consider it still as yours, and I'm just taking care of it.
I still have some little keepsakes from Scott as well. He sent me some things for the chickens and some amazing birthday cards.
All right.
He's really good at finding the chickens. So anyway, all right. So that
So Bob Miller and Lucky Talons both say they have the original on the book.
Okay, so it's good to really share both page numbers then for everybody involved. Now, I want to know what everyone wants to do moving forward. Do we want to jump another, 25 to 30-ish pages ahead? Do we want to jump 50 pages ahead? I had an idea. I don't know. What did you think? Did you have an idea for where we're going to be reading to next time? Or do you want to hear my idea? Or what do you think?
Well, let us hear your idea.
So, I had let me grab my wall calendar. Just kidding. I gotta look it up. So we're looking next month. We're looking in April. I wasn't sure what you thought about April 18th, Friday, April 18th. Anyone have any conflicts with that? Could anyone make it to book club Friday, April 18th, at 5 p.m. Central Texas time?
I looked at my schedule and it looks like we're okay.
Oh.
We're not.
Oh, good. He'll be here. Will you be here? Is the more.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
that's not the more important question. We need you here more than them, but because they can always watch back later, and I kind of need you to be live. And
how are you with that, Shaman? That we're good?
Yeah.
And I was
Friday
wondering.
18th, we're not in Cabo. We're not in. Okay.
Oh,
That's one place. That's one
are
place.
they on vacation or
Yeah,
not?
yeah.
I hear you. Actually, I'm gonna be in. Oh no, I'm not. I was gonna say I'm gonna be in vacation. No, I'm not.
Is that Easter weekend?
Oh, that's a good question. It is. It is I think it's the Friday before Easter. Hold on, let me just double check.
Good Friday.
Ooh, it'd be Good Friday. It'd be
Good.
That's good. But
Sorry,
No,
I
I did.
couldn't help myself. Yes, it is
okay.
Good Friday.
Okay.
It is the Friday before Easter. Will that work for everybody? If it will not,
let us know
let
now.
us know. We're happy to move it around. So we will take a poll. We'll do like an official announcement on. Well, Danny will do an official announcement on his channel here where you watch.
It'll be a short.
so-
I think it's short.
Sure.
I can do shorts.
He can do shorts, and then also you can post it in like the community tab. You can just write it out, so you don't have to like put your face in the video if you don't want to.
I need to do
I'm a
all those
big-
things. Yes, I do.
I'm a big
Okay.
fan of,
All
of the community board, letting people know. That's where I post things. I post it on my little
Looks
community
like
board.
we're good with that. Fun with Car says it's 3 days after their birthday.
Oh, well, that's amazing. Well, then we can wish them happy birthday.
Yes,
we should
yes.
probably put our hats on.
Which-
And then I was thinking, now, let me know what you guys think about the reading load. I know a lot of y'all are as busy as we are, but also are like super into the book. So do you want to do another 50 pages? I was thinking at minimum, we read to page 94, stopping at 1970. At minimum. Just wondering what you guys think about that. If you want to read there, if you want to read a little more, please let us know. We don't have to determine this very second. We can figure it out and then post it up and announce
We need
it.
to just we need to just make a decision today.
Okay, we need to
Okay,
make a
is
decision
it-
today. What do you guys want to do?
So we're starting from the Mighty Indie Bowl.
Yes.
Is that where right?
Yes.
Am I correct?
That is correct. Page 77
Okay.
in this book.
It's starting page 77 in Big Book, and it
Page
is
406 in the pocketbook.
Pocketbook. And
So
then
big pockets.
we are going.
Pocketbook.
We're going 50 pages. You said.
It's not quite. I said at a minimum.
Okay.
I was thinking to 94.
Okay. Let me find where 94 is in this book. Y'all hang with us. It's 68. Oh, look at that car. Okay, sorry. Oh, look at that car.
That's like a similar amount of reading to what we did
90.
last month.
All right. It's 94 on that page. Yep. Going to 94.
And 1970. Okay, so you're at 72, 75.
Okay, 97.
1970. So page 418.
418.
What do you guys think? Any feedback? Everyone's saying that the date sounds good. How many pages do you want to read, you guys?
Any input? Anybody?
Anybody?
If not, we're going with that. We're
You're
going
not.
from 77 to 94.
Yeah. So we could do that, or like the next major.
I would probably go a little bit further.
That's
Oh.
yeah. Well, I wasn't sure
I'm
what we wanted to do.
thinking we sometimes get sidetracked, but you know.
And this is all about India. We don't want to bore everybody about India, but I'm not.
I mean, the other thing is, so
rewarding
if we
for
go to
them.
page 108, we can stop at the bull. That's kind of like the next
Okay.
break.
The bull, which is 428, which is a Ford big block. So we're going to go to 428.
Okay,
on
good.
the small book.
Okay, I love it. So we're
on the
gonna write it down.
pocketbook.
Charity says silence is consent in my world. So there you go.
Rude. Okay,
And
so
then
let's
on
write
your
down.
book is-
Yes, page 109, the bull.
To 109. Okay.
Yeah, 109, the bull.
Yeah.
It looks like we're getting positive feedback out there. Okay,
Awesome.
can I borrow that pen?
Yeah,
I want to
you
write that.
can.
So we're now going to do 109, the bull.
Oh, cool. And it ends with a picture of Smokey and Ralph Johnson.
It does.
Yes.
It does.
Yes. You don't see too many of Ralph Johnson.
No.
But that's one of his young days, and he was a fuel guru.
Yes.
Actually, he gets a lot of credit for a lot of the fuel advancements in the hot vapor car, the Indy car. He's running Indy with a carburetor. I mean, NASCAR. Chevy,
And if I
Ford.
recall correctly, he also loved substances.
Yes,
he got himself in some trouble with having a lack of self-control in the substance department.
Yes, and then at the end, at the end, when there was an award, it was and it may have been NASCAR. I don't know who it was. They were given an award, so they wanted all the dignitaries or whatever. So Smokey and Ralph Johnson were going to be there, and Ralph Johnson, if I remember right, he was drunk through the whole thing. He was whatever.
Oh dear.
And he just passed not too long ago, so we're not saying anything bad. It's not in the book, but he didn't like the room that they provided for him. Didn't like the room. He was really, he's kind of arrogant. Now, he was still drinking. I think at this point, maybe Smokey wasn't or whatever. But anyway, he ended up leaving, just coming home. So he didn't. So he let Smokey down there at that point. That was at the end. That was right there at the end.
That's petty.
That was, yes. He didn't like the rooms that they provided.
Oh.
Okay, so a couple of questions and then we got to wrap it up.
Love it.
So, Fun with Cars says, you guys mentioned the documentary. Is this a project of yours, Danny? And then, what year did Smokey build the 7/8 car?
Ooh.
Oh, that was 67. It could have been 66 when he started. But 67, right? It's 67, and it's not, and it's coined the 7/8 car, and that's what everybody knows it as. But
that's not true.
Yeah, I actually have a photo of a regular stock car in that car, and the lines just going up. And he changed. It was really manipulated a lot, like the windshield angle and the fenders and a lot of stuff. But it was still not necessarily a 7/8 car. It wasn't that much shorter, but that's what it's called, and it's coined.
Well, if that's in 67, then we're going to be reading about it in the next chapter if it happens.
And that's because he goes like right now we're in a lot of indie stuff.
Yeah.
And his books go back and forth.
I wonder if they mention it.
He does jump back and forth.
Yes, that's the one that if you watch the short that got you here earlier in the shop, that's the Chevelle that's hanging on the wall in the shop. The picture of the Chevelle.
Yeah.
It's not the.
But we used to have as like one of our background pictures in the old shop.
Yes. So anyway, that's that card there.
Okay.
And then are you going to make a documentary?
I think we should. I think we should when we get together. I even have the person in mind because he's such a good actor that when he does a role, he actually loses weight. He just really transforms himself
into Smokey.
Yes.
All right.
So think about it. Matthew McConaughey.
I don't know who that is, so I'm not helpful.
I'm
sorry.
putting it out there.
I'm sure you're right, though. It sounds good.
Yes.
Okay.
And he's out of Austin.
Oh, okay,
so we wouldn't have far.
If anyone has connections, let them know Danny wants to make a documentary. I don't know who this we is, but I'm doing this.
Well, you need a lot.
I'll support you though.
Yeah,
I'll support you.
It could be. Think about it. His life. We've been going through the books. You can have a whole movie just on as a war hero. He's a war hero. He flew planes. He did. That could just be one whole movie, and it would be very interesting, very exciting, and that would be a whole movie. And then you could have a whole movie on NASCAR. You could have a whole movie on Indy. You could have a whole movie.
Oh, right. Well, anyways, I am way behind at work today.
Yes,
I showed up, you guys, at 4:59. I was like, and I had to change because I was working so hard. I was like, I was really smelly. I spilled transmission fluid on myself, and I didn't want to gross Danny out. Not that you would have been grossed out, but like I was smelly, so. So I like.
But we had it all set up. We're doing better.
That's why we had
to
sort of put the. We'll get. There's we got like the OBS studio or something like that. We didn't. All right, so let's remind people. Let's remind people of the assignment, just in case they come right here to the very end to get the reading assignment. We'll be meeting Friday, Good Friday, April 18th, 5 p.m. Central Time, and we will be reading to page.
We're reading page 77 to 109.
Oh yes.
In the big
77
book.
to 109 in book 3 of the series of books.
Yes, that's book number 3. And then if you have the pocket book, then we're going from 406 to 428.
Love it.
All right.
Thank you, Danny. Amazing. Okay. And you'll make a post too to help the people.
I will make a post. Yeah. I will make sure.
Keep everybody on assignment.
Yeah, I need to do
your homework, people.
Yeah, it's a lot of homework. Okay.
Thank you so much for watching, you guys. And peace and assembly grease.